Hello, my PC students. All right, this one here is using an if statement with sum and average. Now, it's a pretty simple one. You'll catch on to it right away, but I just wanted to give you exposure to another if statement. All right, so what I opened up is I opened up the one called XX if statements average sum. Okay, XX if statements average sum. And I saved it in my folder with my name and the current date. I also went to zoom and I zoomed it up to 150% and I can just see the bottom row that I need to see, so it works out well. All right, so let's go to cell H3. Okay, let's go to cell, check your name box up here, make sure you're in cell H3. Okay, the scenario is if the average of cells B3 and C3 is more than the target of 1500, then sum the cells D3 to G3. Otherwise, put in a 0. Okay, so you know how I've always taught you. Follow my instructions of what I said. So it says use an if statement. So equals if. Open your parentheses. And the logical test, it says if the average of cells B3 and C3. So the average, open your parentheses, of B3 to C3. Okay, you can figure that out. The average of B3 to C3. If it's more than the target, now it didn't say equal, it said more than the target, and here's my target B23, and of course if we're always going to compare it to the target, it has to be absolute. So if the average of B3 to C3 is more than 1500, if that's true, comma, then it says sum the cells. So put in sum, open your parentheses, and highlight. It says from D3 to G3. D3 to G3. Close your parentheses and comma. Otherwise, put in 0. And there's your 0. Close your parentheses and press enter. Okay, so the first one does not, the average of, okay, take 500 and 1800, and let's say here, what's our average? 1150. Okay, so is that more than 1500? No, so the computer put in 0. Okay, let's drag down. So now here, let's take a look. 750 and 2400, the average is 1575. Did the computer put in the total? Let's check it out. Select those three. What's the total? The sum is 93. So the computer is doing exactly what you asked it to do. Okay, so if you didn't meet the target, they put in 0. But if you did meet the target, then they gave you the sum of the values. So that was pretty easy, but that's all there is to it. All right, so one more time to take a quick look. Okay, and I'm going to click on my letter A here, hold down my shift key, and double click. All right, so I squished this right down right now, and actually I'm going to click this one off, and I might make these a little bit bigger, just so that you can see. There, okay? So if the average here, the blue of B3 to C3 is more than 1500, then sum your cells. Otherwise, put in 0. And that's it. All right, we'll stop there, save your work, and that's it. We'll stop.